Hello guys, welcome back to the challenge. I'm your host, BushCraftFamily, and we are going in the past. Yes, I did this video 5 years ago, and I was thinking, wow, how times have changed since that time. And I had challenged other people to do this challenge back then, and some of the questions that they did were remarkable, and I actually learned a lot from those back then. And so I figured, why not do it again and do the challenge once more, but somewhat different. I'm inviting anybody to do this challenge. If you got a YouTube channel, if you're a prepper or not, you're a homesteader, or whatever the case may be, just do the video, tag a couple people in it, try to get the motivation going for other people to do this, and hashtag 20 prepper question challenge. See where it goes, you know. What had started this was BattleBox did a questionnaire, 20 questions every true prepper should be able to answer. Seems simple enough, right? There were some good questions in this, and it sparked a lot of other things that challenges and, questionnaires and things that I did throughout that time. And a lot of people really got into those at that time. So I figured, let's go ahead and do it again. And without further ado, let's whoosh on over to the next page. And here we are. You see here that we have the BattleBox website up. I'm not affiliated with them. If they want to sponsor my channel and everything, I'm all for it. I'll do reviews or whatever. Okay, that beside the point. Here it is, 20 questions every true prepper should be able to answer, which is good. It is. It's good. So we'll go down here, and it says, are you a true prepper? The best way to find out without throwing you into a shift scenario and watching your every move is by answering a few questions. These questions are designed to make you think of everything so you can be prepared for anything. Now, if you don't answer these questions, you don't have an answer for it, it's okay. That's how we improve ourselves. It's something that you can work at to get better at whatever, anything. It's always to question yourself and improve on yourself. So normally I would do this. What is prepping? Why are you a prepper? And who are you prepping for? Basically, to be prepared. The next one, why are you a prepper? So I can be prepared. And who are you prepping for? My family. Simple, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the question part. Number 1, where are all of your fire extinguishers located? Well, I still remember when I answered this before. I said I had a fire extinguisher in the kitchen and in the garage. I still have those. I have now got one in my vehicle. I've got one in the basement. And I think that's pretty much sums it up. I probably should get one for the upstairs. So that would be my next thing that I would be working on. And I love how some of these questions I actually did work on from the 5 years ago. Question number 2. Where do you keep your bug out bag? It's in the same spot. I can see it right here. It's still on the same nail. Actually, it's a different nail. I had to get a bigger nail and hang it up right there. But it's there. I have another one, which is my son's. It's in another location. So anything happens and I couldn't get to that, my son has one in a different location that we could still survive off of that. Other than that, I still have a get home bag in my truck. I have a little bag that hooks to my belt that I have very minimal items in there. It's like a everyday carry type of situation, but in emergency I can grab it and go. Our next question is, can you remember the last time you updated your bug out bag? About 3 days ago. I got some knives for a challenge, or not a challenge, but to do a review, and I added a knife to the outside for easy access. And I do have other knives in the bug out bag, but I'm a knife guy, so yeah. That was the last time I updated. I'm always thinking of new things and how to reduce the weight of the bag and everything. Makes sense. Number 4, who else in your household or near you knows about your bug out plan? My son, they're also my other family members know where I go. I have survival caches, prepping caches, whatever you want to call them, buried in certain locations where they know. They may not know exactly where, but they know the general location and markers to where if they see a certain marker, they know that's the location, which everybody should have. Even if, and I'm not saying to do this or anything, you can go to public land or whatever, or if you have your own land out miles from your house or whatever, or your own, you have 50, 75 acres or something, bury caches. Even if it's something that, you can fill a bucket with $20 worth of stuff and bury it, mark it somehow, GPS, whatever, somewhere where it's at. It's always a good idea. And make sure your family members know that. Number 5, how would you defend your home against an intruder? I have multiple ways. My first way would be scare the crap out of them with a pew-pew in their face. Other than that, I do have survival combat training, or I guess you would call it, or whatever. I have multiple devices that would defend against something like that. You make your own picture with that. Yeah, and I had pretty much, yeah, the pew-pew would probably be the number 1 there. Number 6, how would you protect your home against imminent natural disaster? Okay, So that's an interesting one. So what, being in Ohio, our major disaster type of situation would be floods. Being up on a hill, I'm pretty much protected unless it's, a really bad flood. And if that's the case, there's more problems going on than just the flood if it makes its way up here. Let's see. Another one would be a tornado. And these are natural disasters that I'm going over. A tornado, we would go hunker down in the basement. We have little rooms in the basement that would be perfect for this. I already have supplies of food and water down there, so that's not an issue. Other than that, that is our natural disasters in Ohio. That would be the thing. Wintertime, the power goes out. I have kerosene, I have propane heaters that would keep us warm. As far as electricity, I have solar. That would be about it for that. Number 7, do you know what type of natural elements threatens your home and family daily? And again, these are natural elements. It'd be cold, heat, flooding, and it's kind of goes along with the last question before that. So these are daily things. And again, it's natural. So, natural means Mother Nature type stuff. Those are some of the things. Now, if I lived in Florida, it would be hurricanes, heat. I wouldn't have to worry about freezing, even though you should prepare for that because even Florida, they freeze. Our next question is, could you suppress a fire without the fire department help? And that is kind of a loaded question, depending on the fire. There are multiple ways, if it's a grease fire, you don't go and throw water and you don't use certain fire extinguishers. You got to know what fire extinguishers do what. And the one I do have in the kitchen is meant for that. Now, electrical fires. A lot of people think you just, you spray it down and with water or fire extinguisher or whatever. No. You cut the emergency power as fast as possible, then you put the fire out. These are things that you should study up on and learn before the fire happens. Even if you learn this stuff and you never have a fire, good. You're still set. You could teach it to other people. You never know. And this is number 9. Are you confident you could survive up to 3 weeks without power? Yeah, I've got a generator. I've done it before. We've had tree fall on our power line, and it was out for a good bit. We've had power go out before for almost 2 months, during the summer too, and that's when the kids were a little bit younger, and we survived. I didn't even have a generator at that time, but we still survived. Evidently, I'm still here. So yeah, without no problem. It's not going to be easy. It's not supposed to be. Number 10, and we're at the halfway point. Are you confident you could survive up to 3 weeks without being able to leave your home or your bug out place? That means not going to the store, not getting on your cell phone and ordering Uber and Uber Eats, or having Walmart deliver your groceries, that means with the stuff that you have in your house, could you survive 3 weeks? And the answer would be yes. I have 3 weeks of food. I probably wouldn't have 3 weeks of gas, but within that time period, the stuff that I had in my freezers and stuff, I would can up before my gas ran out on my generator, so that I didn't have to worry about that stuff in the refrigerator. We could eat that stuff. Again, it wouldn't be easy, but it could be done. Are you, and this is number 11, are you counting on anyone else for your own survival? And this is a pretty good question here. This goes for a lot of people out there. Are you counting on anyone else for your own survival? And you can take it many ways, and one of the ways would be, do you count on the government for your own survival? If natural disaster, a flood, hurricane, blizzard happens, would you wait for the government to help you? Or would you be able to help yourself? Or are you expecting your family members to help you? Things like that. Or do you have the confidence to have all this stuff in your home or your bug out location to be able to survive on your own? And for me, I would say yes. Again, it wouldn't be easy, but I don't want to count on anybody. I can count on my son if he's around at the time. I can count on family members if that's the case, but I can also count on myself to survive on my own. Okay. Number 12. Does anyone else count on you for their survival? And the answer would be yes. My son, as I've said before, he's autistic. He knows a lot of stuff, though, and I'm still confident that he would do well. But I would always feel more confident myself if I was there to help him. Number 13. Are you willing to salvage supplies around you? Or are you, would be more of a good question, able to, or have the knowledge to. Let me get a drink real quick. And this means a lot here. Now, when they say that, things are real bad out there, and there's junk cars cars all over the place. Now, a lot of people have gone to bases and things for survival and stuff, and it's more safer for you to stick at home and whatnot. And you go out. Are you able to go find a vehicle and take an alternator off the vehicle, a battery, and bring it home and use it for power generation? Myself, yes, I'm able to do that. Am I able to go to local areas around here that have, swimming pools in their backyard and fill up containers of water, bring it home, purify it for me to be able to drink? Yes, I'm able to do that. And that's a good question you guys should ask yourself. Number 14, are you willing and prepared to utilize nature to help you survive? And that could be just your garden. That's nature. Even though you're the ones who prepared that. Also, if there are any woods around you where you can go out and get supplies, it could be from trapping to hunting to finding wild edibles and stuff. And the answer would be yes, I'm well prepared for that. Number 15, how do you feel about the thoughts of being totally alone? And this is a very good question because a lot of people say somebody that does a lone wolf thing and survive on their own can't do it. They can't go so many days without having somebody there with them. You know, they can't do this, they can't do that. They don't have somebody to stand guard. They don't have somebody to help out, and whatever the case may be. I can do it myself. I've done it myself. When I was 10, 12 years old, I did it for 9 months. And this was in New York, out in the wilderness. I did it myself. So, I feel confident that I'd be able to do it. During a shift event or something like that, it'd be totally different. But I still feel that I would be able to. I don't think I would have to have somebody to talk to. Company would be wonderful. Somebody that would help you do stuff and gather wood, resources. That would be wonderful, but it wouldn't be necessary for me. Now, this might not go for everybody, but for me, I would be fine with it. Number 16, how much water do you have stored right now? I would probably 50, 60, I would say about maybe 160 to 200 gallons of water, I would roughly say. And that doesn't count the areas I know of and whatnot like that, because that was one of my biggest things, is knowing where water was, because I live in a city. But it's not too far. I can go 100 yards from here, and it's woods. And I know where there's a spring in those woods. Further out, there are more woods that I can go to, and there's a river that is quite far from here, but I still could go there and get water. So I think I'm pretty good with the water situation at this time. 17, how much food do you have stored right now? And the number wouldn't be as much as I would like, because at the time I've been using a lot of my preps already, because times have been tough, and so I haven't been keeping up with my preps and stuff. So it's not as much as I would like, but I have some. Number 18, how confident are you in your abilities to purify water? And I would say pretty confident. I have multiple ways. I have bleach. I have, you can boil the water. I have other ways of filtering. I have filters that I can filter water to purify it. So I'm pretty confident. 19, what's the quickest route and the route least likely to be overtaken or crowded with others to get out of town? And this is a great question. And this changes all the time. You know, population and everything, things fill up, but my own route, I know it, and I'm not going to, you know, broadcast it everywhere, but I know 3 ways to get out of town to get to a better location for, you know, a bug out location. And some are quicker than others, and some are a lot easier, less crowded routes. And that's, you don't know until that time comes which route you will take. But I suggest always having multiple ways to get out. And here we go. Number 20. This is our last one. What are your bug out triggers? There are quite a few, actually. One being, you know, the house that you're in is overrun by multiple looters, or whatever you want to call them, bad people, and it's just not viable for you to stay there. Not being able to protect your family and whatnot. The other would be, you know, natural disaster kicks you out of your house to where there's no other way. You need to get out of there. And there's, you know, the awful one that the government comes and tells you have to leave, and you get out. Those would probably be the biggest ones right there. So, if you're confident, and you answered at least 15 of these, you're a true prepper. But if you weren't able to answer at least 15 of these questions, or you don't feel totally confident in your ability as a prepper, it's time to do some action. And that's, you know, there's multiple ways you can do these and improve on them. Even if you answer every one of these correctly and you're totally confident, you still need to work on these. And let me go ahead and switch back over here, so we can go ahead and close this out. And I want to go ahead and challenge, and since Make It Make did a great job with the last time my challenger with the prepper library, I'm going to go ahead and challenge Make It Make, and I'm going to challenge Gel Southern Living and Shadow Scout Swede. I think he'll do a wonderful job with this, and he's not from United States, so that'll be an extra bonus. So we'll have to see how that goes. And again, everybody can do this. It's real simple. I'll post a link to this challenge down below this page, the whole 9 yards. Until next time, like always, God bless.